It's Gorman in the morning with Fletcher and Ryder. Now, 92 KQRS.
There's a restaurant in Charleston, South Carolina that is offering something they're calling Smoisters. It's just how you got to say it like you're curly. Smoisters.
Yeah.
Smoisters are a s'more oyster combination. It's an oyster dessert.
Crazy.
An actual oyster on the half shell with a s'more on top with a melted melted marshmallow
Mushroom
on
might
top.
make more sense.
It would make more sense. I will try anything generally, but I don't need an oyster with a s'more on top. I'm a fan of oysters. I can deal with the s'more, but I'm not a sweet guy. I don't get excited at the thought of a s'more. But it led us to thinking about weird food combinations. And my, oh my, on the KQ Talk and text line 651-989-ROCK, no shortage of odd combos. I like this one. Peanut butter, cheese, jalapenos, pickles, hot sauce, rolled up in a tortilla.
That is really solid.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's
That
if you're rolling it up in a
sounds
tortilla,
tasty.
you got to have a lot of you got to have your base, and none of those feel like the base. So you got to. I imagine that's a lot of peanut butter. I'm just imagining that to be the case.
Yeah.
Our buddy Tubby wrote, "My dad always grossed us out when he would make supper and include his culinary masterpiece: baked beans mixed with mayonnaise." Oh, that
Yeah.
makes my skin crawl.
No, I can do
don't
that.
say yeah.
Creamy baked beans? Let's go.
Disgusting.
That sounds good.
Baked beans are one of God's perfect creations as they are.
I'm with Tubby. I mean, I can still eat them like just by themselves, but that sounds
Nah.
like a cool twist. I like that a lot, actually.
Most stuff is better when you put mayonnaise with it.
No, see, I'm of the exact opposite opinion. Don't ruin a good meal by introducing mayonnaise to the table.
But like sauces, ketchup and mayonnaise, mustard and mayonnaise.
Baked beans and mayonnaise.
Yeah.
That sounds good. I like it. Let's get on that.
Brian texted in peanut butter and summer sausage sandwich. Peanut butter and summer sausage.
I mean,
That's you're kicking it right there.
starting to find out that, like you talked about in Minnesota, it seems like pickles go with everything. Starting to sound that peanut butter goes with everything as well.
Apparently so. My husband slices a banana long ways and puts mayonnaise and walnuts on it, sandwich style. Again with the mayo, it's just a thing. I can never get around to it. We talked about drinking pickle juice. Someone wrote pickle juice is great for cramps.
Yeah. It's
Accurate.
actually
Is
got
that accurate?
Yeah.
Diabetes management, digestion, dehydration, probiotics, all kinds of heartburn, all kinds of gut health, all kinds of stuff for the pickle juice.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
I looked
then.
that up. Yeah, I looked that up earlier when Ryder said that. I was like, she was not kidding. Holy moly.
Well, as I said, my grandma Gertrude, I mean, there's a reason she lived as long and as heartily as she did, and that's because she drained every time the last pickle was taken, whatever juice was left went right down the gullet, man.
Chug a lug.
Gertrude had no problem chugging the pickle juice. My favorite of the day from Rose, my daughter's best friend would always get 2 slices of garlic bread and put a piece of chocolate cake smack in the middle of it. Garlic bread and chocolate cake. Good God almighty.
No, I don't think so.
Carb
No.
loading for that marathon right there.
I'm telling you what,
Yeah.
you sure are.
92 KQRS.
Eric Perkins is in the house. As per usual, you're here for a little game we call Rank You Very Much. And today we're looking for clean insults, non-cuss word laden insults. I'm excited about this.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many when you really start digging deep.
Sure.
But then you start flirting with the line. Where is the line? And when does it go from clean to not clean?
Yep.
And then what can we say on the radio and what can't we say on the radio?
Right,
I think that's
okay.
kind of what we were running up against
Yeah,
here.
basically, if we can say it on the air without getting a fine or getting in trouble, then
Right.
that deems it a clean insult.
Oh, really?
Well-
I got to rethink my whole game here.
Oh,
Okay.
no. You know what? Shoot the gun you brought.
All right.
Yeah.
Dance with who brung you. Ryder.
I am comfortable with the dump button, so you guys go wherever you need to. But I'm going to start with my number 3, and I got to say this one carefully because it is very close to a swear word. It is feckless.
Feckless.
Is everyone familiar?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Paul and I are like looking at each other like, what just happened?
It just
You know what?
means-
What just happened? It was made very clear that we're the dumb guys in the Feckless? What is that?
So for quote, the dumb guys in the room, which were your words, not mine. It means you're lacking strength of character. You basically have no backbone. You won't stand up to anybody when stuff is going awry.
Yeah.
And you usually, I can't think of a good non-swear word to put with it though, because it's usually paired with a couple of really bad words.
Sure it is. No, I'm a fan. Always like feckless.
That's
You
where
could
we're
say
starting out.
A feckless twit.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Feckless son of a
All right, you're on the board. I like it. All right, Paul, you're number 3.
My number 3 is, you know what? I think I quit trying to look. You're always trying to look at my answer.
I'm not looking at your
Always
dude. I don't even have my readers. I can't see that far.
unbelievable.
Jeez.
You're so feckless. My number 3, just probably from watching too much Gordon Ramsay TV.
Okay.
A donkey.
A donkey.
I mean, think
Sure.
of like a donkey uncontrollably just poops all over the place, has no idea what it's doing. It's got big floppy ears. It's just a meaningless animal, basically.
Okay. All right.
So you're a donkey.
Yeah, it's good. Again, Brits can say all kinds of things that just sound great, and with an American says it, you're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, well, we turn it. We have to go jackass with it, which is the same thing, right? And
Yeah,
then,
but
it's
much
not the same
better.
thing.
So is that your number 3, Jackass?
It's not.
No?
It's not.
What is your number 3?
My number 3 is pissant.
Pissant's good. Yeah, yeah.
Not exactly sure the origin of pissant, but I absolutely love it. I don't even know. I don't even know the meaning of it. But it feels like it's universal to me, and something a lot of different people I feel can fit into the category, the genre of pissant.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I was just thinking about this in terms of what are things I actually say, and I wasn't so much necessarily calling people names, but just I was like, what do I actually use in life? And I can't take credit for coming up. I don't know where I got these. Maybe I made all these up myself, but I don't think so. But I hear myself in my brain often in my life. I've said this to somebody. I can't believe this, but you're actually dumber than you look. That's. I don't know. It always works for me. I can't believe I'm saying this. Man, you are dumber than you look. It's good. It'll put a pause right in the conversation.
Yeah, I haven't heard you say that to anyone's face, but I've heard you say that about quite a few people.
I think he's going to say it about me because I didn't know Stephen Perkins.
Oh, no.
No. That was a real deep cut. Nobody knew that one.
Okay,
except
good.
Steve.
And here's the other thing, too, to kind of put your mind at ease. I don't think it's possible for you to be dumber than you look.
Wow. See?
Gloves are off.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Solid effort.
Pissant.
You're going to remember that one. Man. All right, let's get to our number 2s. By the way, let me just say this. Clean insults. Feel free to share yours, 651-989-ROCK. I mean, my God, we're just getting started. Let's go ahead and open the can a little wider, Ryder.
Okay, this one comes from a 80s B movie, and the word is chud. And CHUD is an acronym for Cannibalistic Humanoid Underground Dweller.
Yes.
Yes.
That's right.
This was a straight-to-video movie. Yeah.
Wow, this is a lot of work from you.
What movie was that? It was just called Chud. Yeah, the movie was Chud. Yeah, because I'm remembering. I'm like, wait, I've heard that. What is? That's it. Yeah.
And it gets referenced in a whole bunch of other movies, but you see on the cover, you see the hand coming out of the sewer.
Sure.
Yeah.
Ryder, if you would, please use it in a sentence.
Your mom's a chud.
Wow. Man, straight to mom.
I asked for it.
You did ask for it. All right, Fletcher, number 2.
My numero dos is an example that has been, and a word that has flown around these studios many, many times since I started in April. It's just a good old-fashioned douchebag.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, in fact, you can make the argument for that being a number 1. It's just like
clean? How is that clean? I don't think it's clean, man. Party
if
foul.
we can say it on the air, if we can.
Ryder, this might seem naive. Are there bags that carry douches, or is it just a word?
Mostly it's just a word.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I was just making sure.
Wow.
Like, I didn't realize that I was crossing a line. I didn't think I.
Yeah.
That's okay. Listen, man.
Do you mean change it to something
No. It's fine. We were on a roll, and now we're not. But that's fine. Let it go.
Yeah, I'm just saying you're probably not going to win today. Like, you're disqualified.
You're gonna need a strong number 1, brother.
Yeah.
That's all we're saying.
She did not employ the dump button, so I think you're okay.
Yeah.
You're safe.
That's probably true.
I went to a list of words that I actually use. I'm not making up stuff like chud that never anybody's ever used ever.
Something
Sean
tells me.
Waters uses it and says it's a great word.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. All right, Perk, you're number 2.
Mine is just one I regularly enlist in my vocabulary, and it's often geared towards my kids. But knucklehead. This is like, and this might be a throwback to Mo, Larry, Curly, or whatever. I think it goes back that far. Knucklehead has been around. It has stood the test of time.
Yeah.
And I think it's still completely relevant. And just the visualization of a knucklehead is just funny to me. And it's just like it's in the same ilk as numbskull, but I think knucklehead is a little bit stronger.
Yeah,
okay.
I grew up in a numbskull house. There was a lot of numbskull. It's good.
Yeah.
It's roll your eyes at the person and move on with your life. Like it's not a real deep insult. Like I'm not going to be bothered if you call me a knucklehead.
There's many comedy clubs that are referred to as knuckleheads.
Yeah.
So it almost seems like it could be not an insult. It could be a compliment.
You're in here like once a month. You could have like prepared a little bit, not just made words up at the last second.
Boy, Fletcher's lashing out.
Well, it's because you guys just castrated me.
We know what's happening. No,
I was on board with douchebag.
Call him Carousel because he's projecting. Fun fact: Knuckles always my bowling name.
Knuckles.
Oh, nice.
Knuckles.
Never use it as a hotel name, check-in name.
Never did.
Nope.
Never did.
Like as a last name?
It's just my name. When I bowl, I'm Knuckles.
Got it.
Always. Best hotel name ever, Pat McGroin. That was always that was a classic.
Solid.
I loved making my wife call the hotel. Can I speak to Pat McGroin? Yeah. That and Oliver Sudden. That was my other favorite. That was a good one.
I can see Rosemary rolling her eyes.
Oh, she hated it. No one was happier when cell phones took over the world than her never having to call a hotel and ask for me again.
Right. All right, Steve, you're number 1.
My number two.
Number two, my bad.
My number 2. And I don't know where this came from. I wish I'd made it up, but I've heard myself say this. You're a shiver just looking for a spine to run up. It's a good one.
Wow. You're a shiver just looking for a spine to run up.
I've had that one in the quill for years. Haven't said it lately, but it's a good one. It just occurred to me. I had something else written, but I remembered, wait a minute. I used to throw that shiver out there on occasion.
See, now,
it's a bit of work. I get it. It doesn't flow right off the tongue.
I like Gorman's. He's like going full sentence. It's you know what I'm saying? It's a complete run up.
If I'm gonna insult you, I want you to know that I cared enough to put a little thought into it. You know, like put a few words together. That's me.
I think I need this one in context. Is it like somebody who's creepy?
Yeah, just anyone who's they walk in the room and you're like, oh God, them again. It's that kind of thing. For any number of reasons. 651-989 Rock. Let us know your clean insults.
I already see some real dirty ones on the text
Oh,
line.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I got to look. That's exciting. Good God Almighty. Some of you missed the memo. Clean insults.
Clean.
I mean, you might literally find out tomorrow AT&T's turning your phone off for texting words like that to us. My God.
Can't read half of them.
They've been fun to read, though.
They're really fun to read. I'm my laptop's smoking right now checking some of those out. All right, it's time for our numero unos. Your number 1 clean insult, Ryder?
This one only works here, and I feel like it's going to pop up on somebody else's list, but when you call somebody in the Twin Cities the Norm Green of blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
That one's, you hear the Norm Green sucks chants all over the place.
Sure.
But you're the Norm Green of cell phones or something like that.
Yeah.
You're just a pompous killjoy who's detached from humanity.
You could just even shorten it and they'll think you're like referencing Cheers, but you could just sure thing, Norm. Just leave it there. You know what I'm saying? That'd be good. I like the Norm Green of. Right on.
Ryder, you just allow me to just say this and praise you for this. This is absolutely genius. This is a great number 1. I think the regional relevance and just you're just spot on.
Really? You're really?
No, I'm dead serious.
I feel like you're a little bit irritated right now.
Not at all. That was amazing.
Okay.
It's
thank you so much. Yes.
All right, Fletcher, you're number 1.
It goes back to Middle English.
Okay.
It's somebody that's dull or foolish. You are a dolt.
Dolt.
I just feel like that's like a sledgehammer over the top of somebody's head. It's just like, God, I feel like it demeans somebody to the nth degree. You're adult, man.
It's pretty good.
I use it a lot.
Yeah.
Well, there's so many. This is not my number one at all, but it just reminded me. I love a good English. Oh, you barnacle.
Nice.
Calling someone a barnacle.
Yeah.
Yeah. All you're doing is just sitting on someone else's boat. All right. Number one, Perk.
Well, I'm not going to try to wedge in any honorable mentions here or anything like
We've
that.
kind of loosened a lot on wedging.
Okay, have you?
In this iteration.
Okay, because there's some really simple ones that are just so solid, but
wedge one. Just you know what? You never, through the course of 50 some episodes of the podcast, you never got to wedge anything. In fact, you were the wedge police.
Yeah.
So have a release.
Yahoo.
Wedge one in.
Yahoo. I use it a lot.
Yeah.
But to me,
Jackwagon
I
was
think
my wedge.
Jackwagon. The one I think of that I think hurts my feelings the most.
Okay.
Is where I'm coming from on this, and I've been called it a good bit.
Okay, fair enough.
But tool. It's just I really do not like being called a tool.
That's good.
And yet I've fallen into that categorization often. So yeah, I don't like it. And you can be called a toolbox, a tool, whatever it is, but it's just it makes you just feel pretty low when someone calls you a tool.
Yeah. Very, very solid.
Yeah,
Tool's good.
Really good. That's really good.
Thanks, guys.
My number one clean insult, and I use this one a lot, not only in conversation but on social media at times when you just feel you have to respond to somebody. It's very simple, and you have to put the word "oh" in front of it. Oh, honey. If I throw an "oh, honey" at you, you need to leave the room.
Yeah.
Anytime I see Steve post "oh, honey" on social media, I'm like, I'm not going to read what that is in reference to because it's just going to make me mad.
And that's a lifelong. And I believe that came from my mom. That's an Imelda Gorman classic. She was, talking to kids. Oh, honey. But at a young age, I was like, oh, I will take that and I'm going to put a spin on that one. She was saying it with love, and I was like, every time I got a "no, honey," I knew that I had, she was feeling bad for something I had just said or done, and I'm like, oh no, that's mine. It's a lifelong one for me.
First of all, Imelda is a great name.
Oh yeah.
Remember, we've actually ranked that in the past. Great old person names. This is great.
Sure.
But the other thing is that "oh, honey" is kind of like, oh, bless your heart. It's like saying that to somebody.
Yep.
Just talking down your nose at them on purpose.
It's incredibly condescending.
I like it.
Yeah.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Hey, next time you find yourself in a town council meeting, a city hall meeting, any sort of thing where you are expected to give an opinion on something your town is trying to do, you might want to think about a dude in Cecil, Pennsylvania. There was a township meeting on whether or not the city would be shutting down the local motocross track.
Oh no!
Okay.
So you got a track. You got motocross racing going on.
Can't have that.
It's a little place called Steeltown MX, and a whole lot of people don't like the noise. They're just complaining about the noise.
I get
and
it.
so the township meeting, there's you have the little city council group, and they're all having they're making their statements, and then it's like, does anyone from the public want to share their thoughts?
Okay.
And a guy stepped up to the podium. Fun fact: he was wearing like some of those Meta glasses, like virtual reality glasses, and he posted his own video of his view of this, which is pretty astounding. There's the cameras from the town hall meeting, and then there's this guy's point of view himself.
Okay.
Anyway, he had a lot he wanted to say, and he wasn't too concerned about the protocol about stating your name, etc. Here's a little bit of his response to the idea that they might shut down the motocross track.
Okay.
I really just came up here to say that you're either going to hear them where they're allowed to be, or you're going to hear them where they're not allowed to be.
You need to.
There you go.
Seriously?
Thank you.
Yeah.
For the
And by the way,
That's
that's
the guy's
him.
name?
Comment.
That's his
Anyone
name?
else?
He's running away. He left the meeting as if on his motorcycle.
You hear it right
course he did.
here. Yeah.
I'm just jealous he
Further
can make a
disruption, we're gonna have that.
motorcycle sounds like that. That's impressive.
The reverse Doppler effect as it fades and the volume fades as he rides out, in quotes, rides out of the meeting.
Go Dirt Bike Dave. I like Dirt Bike
great.
Dave. He's pretty good.
Of all the things you could go to your township meeting and state a case for, there's not too many that bring in the sound effect. Like if it's a zoning ordinance about, where can I put a fence on my yard? There's no sound you can really make for that. The basketball hoop, I guess you could dribble a basketball, but now going in there as if you're in one of those weird Norwegian stick horse competitions, but it's a motorcycle and racing around the room while you make those noises. That's pretty strong.
Yes.
I have a feeling that guy's not going to be invited to the block party.
I'm inviting him to my block party.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah,
especially if you're on a cul-de-sac. Just watch him do just in a circle.
There we go.
What would he do if you put a ramp out there?
Oh, what are you kidding?
Game on.
Get ready to call the paramedics. There's going to be some broken bones. But it's a great way to leave any room. It's like the way I will. There have been times in my life I'll look at anything and pick it up as if it's a phone, just to go. Oh, excuse me, I got to take this. Just because you're done with the conversation, you want to say something funny, but you really just want to get the hell away from somebody,
right?
Or even more importantly, when you're actually on a phone call. Don't just hang up on the person. Turn your airport mode on. Then it says call lost, and then they don't know you hung up on them.
Ooh,
These are the way when you got to get out of situations. But it never occurred to me to go. It's pretty strong.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I hope he popped a wheelie on the way out.
Somebody lives next door to this guy, and somebody's going, I told you this neighbor is out of his mind.
It's Gorman in the morning with Fletcher and Ryder, 92 KQRS.
So we're going to play the Twin Cities Civil War. Our first contestant from the west side, Kathy from Anoka. Good morning, Kathy.
Good morning.
West Side.
Are you ready to rock? You got 60 seconds. I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions about historic events, and you got to get as many right as possible. Are you ready?
I'm going to give it a try.
All right. That's all we can do. Count us in,
I believe in
Ryder.
you, Kathy.
Okay, ready, set, go.
With their 1965 USA tour, the Beatles became the first music group to play stadiums, including a stop at which Bloomington venue?
I don't know.
The second of its kind in the country. In 1973, Eveleth's Resurrection Catholic Church hosted a mass, hymns in the style of this type of dance music, backed by an accordion. What kind of music?
Polka?
In 1998, after winning his bid for Minnesota governor, this former wrestler proclaimed, "We shocked the world." Who was he?
Jesse Ventura.
Opening in 1987, featuring 4 different recording studios, what Chanhassen production complex and concert venue cost $10 million to build?
Chanhassen Theater?
One of the most exciting events to ever take place on the ice. Herb Brooks coached Team USA to a win over the Soviets in the 1980 Olympics. Where did it take place?
Soviet Union.
1994, Kate. Oh, boy.
All right.
I got 2.
I know.
Kathy looks like 2, I think.
Kathy got Polka and Jesse Ventura correct. The first question, the 1965 U.S. tour of the Beatles came through and played the Met Stadium, or Metropolitan Stadium would have also been accepted. The recording studio and concert venue complex in Chanhassen is Paisley Park. And
I knew that one.
the Olympics in 1980 were in Lake Placid. Do you believe in miracles?
Yes. All right, West Side. Kathy, you got 2, and you know what? That's sometimes that's enough around here. So sit tight.
Yep,
We're going to go over to the east side of thing. We got Michael from Hastings. Michael, are you with us?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Michael. Are you ready to play a little Twin Cities Civil War?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, we'll count you in, and good luck. Get as many of these right as you can, Ryder.
All right, ready, set, go.
Hit with a severe storm in 1975, immortalized by Gordon Lightfoot a year later, what ship sank in Lake Superior?
Pass.
Released in 1996, the Coen brothers' depiction of the Minnesota accent was far more controversial than the
Fargo.
gruesome... There you go. Living in Edina with his first wife from 1968 to 1971, what singer-songwriter wrote the song Sunshine on My Shoulders on a spring day in Minnesota?
John Denver.
Originally learning to play bass as a preteen alongside his brother Bob and the Replacements, Tommy Stinson later joined what notorious L.A. band in
Guns N'
1998? Wow. Credited with inspiring the career of Weird Al Yankovic, what Minnesota-born broadcaster will air his final program this October, 55 years after its debut?
Pass.
Opening in 1992, one of Minnesota's top attractions, this building sits on the site of the demolished Met Stadium and has 40 million visitors every year.
2 seconds.
Mall of America.
I mean,
Yep.
you didn't
After
need
the buzzer.
it, man.
Yep. There's your winner, Michael. You won from Hastings. He nailed Fargo, John Denver, Guns N' Roses, and the Mall of America after the buzzer. You missed on Dr. Demento, and you missed on the SS Edmund Fitzgerald. That is the song that Gordon Lightfoot wrote about. Or that's the ship, I should say.
But that was
Wonderful
still,
song, but I couldn't remember the name.
That's all right.
still
doesn't
enough
matter,
to win
dude.
the McCartney tickets.
Yeah.
That's right.
Michael, congratulations, man. Going to see Sir Paul in October at the U.S. Bank Stadium. Kathy, you're not leaving empty-handed. You got tickets. We'll see you on the Rock the Boat 80s cruise July 25th. Thank you guys both for calling in and playing.
Yeah, don't go anywhere. Hang on for me.
Thank you so much.
And maybe just as important as winning the Paul McCartney tickets, Michael has tied it up for the East Side.
That he has.
Very important. Very important.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
People are talking about the pettiest reason they ever ended a relationship, either with a friend or with someone that you were just hooking up with. But things that, like, why did you just end it cold turkey, snap, it's over? Petty reasons. But is there anything that's not petty? I mean, come on. It's like, I would say, if you say, well, we just couldn't agree on whether we wanted children, that's petty. Now get over it.
Yeah.
Money, we didn't agree on how to do money. It's all petty in people.
Really?
We're petty
Okay.
animals.
All
We're
right.
just, no, I don't know. I'm just saying, I was seeing these things about, I'm thinking about friendships. Have I ever ended a friendship or any kind of relationship like that over a really petty thing? And I'm like, I guess maybe. Nothing comes to mind. I can't. I have friends from like third grade still. It's just like if we were friends,
Yeah.
we're still probably pretty tight.
Yeah.
I think that's what happens when you grow up in a smaller town is you can't avoid those people, so you're going to have to get over the pettiness.
That's pretty much true. But I'm just curious. This is the one that jumped off the page to me. They chewed too loud. It just had to get out of a relationship. Now, what? Now, this is an interesting thing. My wife has that. Not all the time at all, but there's just times in her life when suddenly, like, she'll hear someone crunching ice from 100 yards away and go, "Oh my God, I got to get out of this room!" Like it's like it'll become too much. And she lives with me, and I'm loud, and I chew, and I burp, and I fart, and I do all kinds of. There's a lot of noises with me.
Human stuff, yeah.
Just human stuff. And every now and again, I'll see a look on her face, and I'm like, "Oh, is this too loud?" And she's like, "What do you think is too loud?" And I'm like, "I am just trying to enjoy some Cheetos. What's the crime?"
Right.
Yeah. So we have that. But were you ever in early days of a relationship? Let's start right there. Like, if you want to call it a casual thing, you're just hooking up or whatever. But was there ever a moment when you just like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I have to leave now and never see you again"? Does that ring any bells?
Sure.
Yeah?
It was like a hookup, and I was doing the drive of shame, taking him back to his car on the other side of town.
Yeah, that's a problem.
And he started,
Sure.
and if you like this song, we can totally still be friends, but you're not going to see me naked. He started singing along to Tesla Signs, and I'm like, this is not the boy for me. And I was like, we're going to drop him off at his car, and maybe we'll say hi at the bar, but that is going to be the end of that.
I never had that, but I did. I think I mentioned this before. There was one time a girl I had seen a few times, and then she called me Funny Face. Hey, Funny Face.
Oh.
And I was like,
Why?
Oh, that's a weird thing. I don't know, but that was like she thought that was a term of endearment, and now I immediately went to that's what Priscilla Presley calls Frank Drebin in the Naked Gun movie. Funny Face. and so I thought, well, that's an odd reference. And then she said it again, and it wasn't. I don't think she'd seen that movie. She literally was like, "Hey, Funny Face." And the second time I heard Funny Face, I knew. Like, okay, well, when this day ends, that's the last time we'll be in a room together. And it was. I was like, sorry, I can't. Can't do it.
Are there any musical ones for either of you? Like a band that somebody does or doesn't like that would cause you to cut things off?
Not for me.
I think it probably has happened. Sure, I'm
Okay.
trying to think. It's embarrassing if true, but yeah, there's no way in my high school and college and early 20s days that I wouldn't. It wouldn't that I would cut someone off, but it would be an impediment to getting to know them better.
Sure.
An absolute
Okay.
roadblock.
All right.
For somebody that, if they were like, here's another, wow, now it's all coming out. I on a first date with a girl, and she said, God, you really like guitar bands. And I was like,
Okay, that's fair.
sure do.
Yep.
Yeah.
What other bands are
I didn't know there was an option. This is not, yes,
There are
I really do like guitars.
There are laptop bands.
Yeah, there are.
There are, for sure.
When I did say to her, well, what would you want to listen to? She said, well, do you like Enya? And I was like, do you want to get out of this room? Yeah, no.
Yeah, those things further in a relationship would be ridiculous and petty. But
Yeah.
at the very beginning, you're like, you know what? It sets a precedent of like, I don't want to explore this further because of these choices that you've
All right,
made.
Fletcher, how many dates are you going on with somebody who doesn't like Pearl Jam?
You know what? The tough part is like, now let's just say that my marriage falls apart and I'm dating again.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. It wouldn't bother me at all. In my 20s,
Sure.
it wouldn't have been many. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Back when you're full of spirit and you're like full of piss and vinegar, and it's
Sure.
like, this band is the band.
Yeah.
Yeah. In my 20s, it wouldn't have been many. You're
Okay.
right. Good
See?
call on that.
There we
But
go.
I also never have been super judgmental about music because I had plenty of bands that I was not super proud of. That I liked. In my 20s, I wasn't waving a Beach Boys flag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't a cool
Sure.
thing for
Sure.
catch a wave. What?
I
I,
don't know.
uh,
Enya sounds like a red flag to me.
Enya is definitely a red flag.
Yeah.
I broke up with my high school girlfriend for the first of 3 times. This was we dated and then broke up and dated and broke up. But
Sure.
the first breakup, we did my whole sophomore year, like from the first week of school. She was a new kid in our school. We started dating, and it went all the way almost a full year. It was like 11 months, and then her sister got married. And I was asked to serve in the wedding as like the altar boy, it's a Catholic wedding.
Yeah.
And I was not normally an acolyte or altar boy, so I was like, I don't really do that. And she's like, it's my sister's wedding, and she wants you to do it. And I'm like, okay, fine. So I had to stand up there next to the priest and hand him a sacraments. I don't even know what it was, but I'm standing there. So I'm up on the altar with the priest as the people are coming down the aisle, and my girlfriend was one of the bridesmaids.
Okay.
And she's walking up the aisle, and she had really long hair, but it was all not Princess Leia, that exact thing, but it was like braided and then all up in her head, like some sort of a Danish or something.
Like
it looked
buns, though,
yeah,
or
it
no?
looked it looked a little crazy. And she's walking up the aisle and staring at me, and I saw the look on her face, which was, this is going to be us getting married one day.
Nope.
And her face was showing me nothing but a love and a willingness to commit to a life together. And 1 second of that face, and I went, I am breaking up with her tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it today. I'm not gonna. It's like
Yeah.
Don Corleone. I couldn't. The day of your sister's
day of
wedding.
my-
I
yes.
can't.
Yeah.
No, I waited. But the next day, I was like, hey, this ain't gonna work anymore. I'm sorry. That look on her face just threw me.
I don't think anybody would blame you.
No,
That's
it was just too much.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then school started like 2 weeks later, and she'd gotten actually a new haircut and had these bangs. I was like, oh, I think I made a mistake. 651-989-ROCK. What is the pettiest reason you ever cut somebody off? No shortage of petty folks in the area letting us in on their
bring it on.
situations.
Starts with Clem. I ended a relationship in high school 35 years ago because I wanted to buy a car stereo, not pay to go to prom.
Yeah,
Yes.
my man.
I want to hang out with Clem.
I hope-
Nice work.
Clem, I hope it was an Alpine because
Yeah,
those
yeah,
were
no
sweet.
Yeah.
Scott.
Or a Blaupunkt. Remember
Yes,
that? Whenever
Blaupunkt was
I think
good.
you say Blaupunkt.
That's how they spelled it that way.
Yeah, yeah.
How'd they say it? It's spelled like this?
No, man. You got an Alpine? Yeah, I've got a Blaupunkt.
Yeah.
Or Kenwood. Kenwood was good too back in the day. Hey, Scott says, while in the Marine Corps, stationed in Japan in the late 80s, dating a girl from back here. Broke up with her because every time we spoke on the phone, she wouldn't stop crying. And when she wrote letters, she would circle the tears on the page.
Hey, my high school girlfriend, who is a wonderful woman, by the way, and thank God she's not listening to this show right now. Another thing that really, when I realized I was in too deep, when she's staring at me like we're getting married, by God. But there was a time on a Saturday afternoon we were just talking on the phone, and I was laying on my couch talking to her on the phone, and I fell asleep. I just nodded off, as I do.
It happens.
45 minutes later, I go, and I look, and I'm like, hello? And she's still sitting there. She goes, I was just listening to you sleep. 45 minutes. No. She's like, no. She goes, oh, you're so cute. You fell asleep. And I'm like, why are you still here? She goes, I was just waiting.
Oh.
And my reaction wasn't, she's awesome. It was, get me away.
Yeah, you know why? Because you know what you heard?
Yeah.
I was listening to you sleep.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
One more from our pal, Rochelle. Any time somebody says country music is their favorite genre, I can't vibe.
Oh, boy.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
A paraglider just got zapped in North Dakota. There's a video that's taken off all over the old interwebs. A gentleman flies over a bridge. There's someone standing, I believe, on the bridge, gets their phone out like, hey, I'm going to shoot this paraglider.
Sure.
And the paraglider somehow misses that there's some power lines overhead, and it sounds like this as he hits the power lines.
Whoa! Oh no! Oh jeez!
Oh, jeez.
Paraglider goes straight down, thankfully, into the river, as opposed to out of the train tracks or something. Like, in my mind, it's like, oh, there's probably a speeding locomotive coming right when he hits the tracks. No, he just hit a calm river, and he was fine. He survived with unharmed, apparently.
Yeah, there's a bright blue spark, which is crazy.
Yes, there is.
I don't know how agile these things are, but I feel like they turn relatively quickly. However, he's also paragliding around dusk.
Yeah.
So he maybe just doesn't see them. Thankfully, he's fine. Anyway, my point to opening my big old yapper is to let you know that not only is it all over the interwebs, it's also on I did find a video of it, and it's up on our Instagram and Facebook. You got to go see the blue spark, especially. It's nuts.
Ever been zapped? I have a lifelong fear, a terror of electricity, generally speaking.
Really?
I have just always figure yesterday I was changing our cat's water filter situation. He's got the little fountain that constantly runs water, and the filter needed to be changed. And so you clean out the whole thing. And then as I'm plugging it back in, I still look at the plug to make sure there's not a drop of water on it, because I'm going to stick it in the wall and I'm going to explode myself.
I thought you were
casing and everything.
I know, it doesn't matter. I'm terrified of electricity and water, and generally speaking, if anybody's ever going to get zapped, I always figure it's going to be me. Have you ever been zapped? Really bad shock? Let me know. 651-989-ROCK. A paraglider hit some power lines. He got zapped. He's okay, but you hear the bzz, and it's a rough one. Ever been zapped in your own life? Apparently, Rob is on the horn, and he's got a story for us. Rob, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Lay it on me, brother.
Okay, I was working as an apprentice late at night. We'd been working a lot of overtime, and I was working on a live panel, lost control of a ground wire that hit the two hots and the neutral at the same time in the panel, blew the panel, blew the meter that was up above, up the upper part of the ground, and I hit the wall on the other side, ended up in the hospital waking up there.
You hit the wall?
Hit the wall.
So you just got full-on zapped. I mean, you got blasted is what you're telling us.
Yep, got blasted. Came up with not too bad of burns considering, but they were pretty good.
At the same time, you got to look like an action star for a second, and live to tell about it.
Yeah.
So are you still an electrician, Rob, or did you move on to something else after that incident?
No, I worked as an electrician for 15 years after that.
Okay.
I am now no longer an electrician. I am working a different job.
Got it. All right. Well, thanks for this. Thanks for the call. I'm glad you're okay, man. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
I am married to an electrician's daughter.
And as Rob is explaining all of the things, I don't know exactly what he's talking about, but I can see Steve just crawling out of his skin.
It just winds me up to no end. My father-in-law was an electrician. Both of my wife's brothers, these are all union electrician men, IBEW member, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, they look at me. They all look at me like I am completely brain dead because I used to call, hey, so if I do, and they just shut up. I'll just come over. Let me just fix that. And they just like put the screwdriver down. You're gonna hurt somebody. Yeah, no, that's me, man. That's me.
92 KQRS.
A paraglider had a bit of a moment when he ran into some power lines. Everybody's okay.
Nice.
The paraglider survived the incident. The video, thankfully, went viral, and we've all had a good time watching that as the guy went right into the Red River. Again, no injuries. But it got us thinking about paragliding. I've never done it. You've never done it. Nope. Ryder, you've never done it. But right now on the show, joining us on the phone, Adam Raring, who is an instructor at Paramotor Central in Little Falls. We figured let's talk to somebody who knows a little something about paragliding. Adam, thanks for calling in this morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you guys?
We're doing good. Thank you very much. Okay, so paragliding, something I don't remember the first time I ever saw somebody paragliding, but it was a long time ago. And I probably thought to myself at the time, that looks fun, probably the most dangerous thing imaginable. No way I'd ever do it. And I have to think over the years, there are people constantly and continually updating equipment and making sure this is safer than ever. So that said, how long from me showing up at your door to you getting me on a solo paragliding trip? How long does it take to teach somebody how to do this so they can get up and be on their own in the air?
Yeah, typically we expect anywhere from 10 to 15 hours of instruction for the ground handling stuff before you're proficient with the paraglider. Some people do that in a week to 10 days.
Ooh, that's pretty quick.
10 days.
Yeah. I mean, that's...
Do you find a lot of people who are, thrill seekers looking for crazy things to do, or is it more just someone would love to have a bird's eye view of the world and is looking for a more relaxing way to explore?
Well, I think we get both. I think we definitely get those adrenaline junkies, but we also get those people who, some of them are retired airline pilots, and they just maybe can't pass a medical or something like that. So it's very therapeutic to be up in the air, to have your knees in the breeze, as they say.
How did you get started? What was your story to first time you went up? What was the thinking there?
Just always had an itch to try new things.
Looks like we're losing you, Adam.
We might be losing Adam.
Sorry, we got a bad signal. We'll try to get Adam back on. Okay, so
I'm sorry about that.
Oh no, okay. Looks like you're back there. Sorry, I missed your answer.
Yeah, so I've always just wanted to try new things. I've scuba dived, I've done hiking and all these things. I've always had an itch to try flying. The pilot's license wasn't in the cards at the time, so I went down the road of powered paragliding, which then I eventually got my private pilot's license and grew my knowledge in that. But yeah, just always wanted to try new things.
Okay, so powered paragliding. What's the average, or what's the highest you can take that you can go up in your paraglider?
It's I think 12,500 is the ceiling. In our sport, people like to use 10,000 as somewhat of a check mark for them. Okay. But I will say, typically speaking, we fly 500 to 1,000 feet off the ground.
Okay, and so I got to ask, what's the highest you've actually been?
I've been to 8,500 in the paraglider. It just I couldn't make the 10,000 because, frankly, I just got bored with it. The view at 2,000 feet was the same as it was at 8,000 feet.
Yeah, that is up there, though, man. That's way higher than I thought you were going to say.
So, Adam, we've obviously seen this viral video, and everybody's like, how does that happen? I'm curious to, how maneuverable, how agile a powered paraglider is. I mean, is it easy to make split-second decisions or not as much?
Oh, I mean, they're extremely agile. I mean, if you go down the YouTube rabbit hole, you will find people doing aerobatics, barrel rolls, wing overs, things like that. Look, in this incident, this is a prime example of why we tell the students that altitude is your friend. The higher you are, the safer you are. For specific reasons like this. Look, all of the obstacles and the risks, they're down low, right? Flying is safe. Hitting the ground, hitting objects is not safe. So, honestly, that's just what happened here.
Yeah, for sure.
So what's an average length of a trip? If you're just going to go up and tool around, I mean, with the machine you have, can you go up for? Is it an hour? Is it 6 hours? How long can you stay up?
Yeah, anywhere. They'll stay up for 3 hours, right? It all depends on how big of a gas tank you carry, right? That's all about adding weight. This particular unit that went on the video was a quad, so they can tend to hold a little more weight because they're not carrying it on their back. But most people in this sport will do what's called foot launch, powered paragliding, and then it's like carrying a rucksack on your back, and you have to run almost to a full speed sprint to get this thing airborne. And so for those folks, they tend to want to keep the weight down naturally. On average, I would say anywhere from 1 hour to 2 hours is typical.
Wow. Okay, I'm looking at your Paramotor Central, the website, and I'm seeing all the different machines, I guess you'd call them. And I got to say, I'm thinking, it looks kind of cool, actually. I never even thought about this until I saw a guy crash into a river, and now I'm talking to you, and I'm like, hey, wait a minute. That doesn't look so crazy to me.
It is the world's best-kept secret, that's for sure.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. All right, so 10 to 15 hours or so, and we can be up on our way. All right, Adam, thank you so much, man. We appreciate you checking in with us.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate the call.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
In 1989, Izzy Stradlin, guitarist of Guns N' Roses, not named Slash, was arrested for peeing on the floor of an airplane after he got into an argument with a flight attendant.
I vaguely remember that.
Oh, it was a big story right there. That was on this very day in 1989. Wow. Hey, Pete Lee's on the horn with us right now, joining us on Gorman in the Morning. Pete Lee,
yeah, buddy.
A very funny gentleman who will be at Acme Comedy next week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Pete Lee, also a man who's been arrested for urinating on the floor of an airplane, or maybe that's just an ugly rumor. Pete, good morning.
Hey guys, I've been arrested, but not for that. How are you?
Well, we're great, thanks. Well, now my interest has been piqued. If you weren't arrested for urinating on an airplane floor, what were you arrested for, if you don't mind my asking?
For real, I was arrested in New York City because I saved a guy's life, and then he got almost knocked out, but I like sand volleyball dove and caught his head, and because before it hit the ground, and then my hand was bleeding, and they thought that I was the one that attacked him.
Oh,
and,
jeez!
Wow. Yeah, dude,
man,
it was crazy.
That's what you get for helping out a stranger.
Yeah, it was wild. That was this year. I went to jail for. The cops beat the snot out of me. It was wild, and so and then they also thought that I was dangerous. So I went to jail shackled, and I don't know if you guys have ever been to jail in New York City, and you're bloody. Like my face is bloody, and I went to jail shackled, and then I'm me. So of course I go into the jail cell. I thought they were going to be scary. But it turns out that I was, because I wanted to, like, meet everybody. You know, I walked in, I was like, hi, how's it going? Well, and they looked at me like, oh, my God, that's Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
like we're his next meal. And I was the scary one. I thought, because, New York City jail, these are really tough guys. And, but I wound up getting exonerated because there was video footage of me saving the guy and everything like that. But
wow, there's what though? There's no measure for Pete Lee in a jail. I mean, they might think, like that's a tough guy. Like that, they see you and they're like, there's a tough guy.
Pete, I don't know where to go from that. That's the wildest story we've heard in a long time around here. I love the friendliest guy in the world from Wisconsin walking in covered in his own blood, and of course people running in fear. You just can't make that sort of thing up.
Dude, it was wild. Like I had a friend go, you should really never tell anybody that you went to jail. And I was like, dude, I'm telling everybody.
Right.
That's the coolest I've ever been. I was like, dude, I went to jail and I had to toe Lululemon. Like, I was like, I need that.
So Pete, as a Wisconsin guy, you grew up in Janesville. I imagine, in your mind as a kid, you probably did think like, yeah, I'm going to grow up. I'm going to go to the big city. I'll be a tough guy, New York City, or maybe not. What was going on in Janesville when you were a kid? What was the thought? What was the dream?
Well, I actually was a competitive show water skier. So, the Twin City River Rats?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was on that team in college, and I used to train with them, and then I'd go down and I've won several national show ski titles, which I don't know if you know what show skiing is, but it's tough guy stuff. But then you wear these suits with sequin, and you have to do dances and stuff like that. So, that guy wound up in jail in New York City.
Pete Lee is with us on Gorman in the Morning. In addition to being a great comic, let's see, he's been arrested for saving someone's life. He was a competitive show skier. And then I guess what are you cooking up next? The Lost Art of Alchemy? You're going to turn base metals into gold for your next hobby? What's going on over there?
Yeah, I'm working on becoming Breaking Bad.
Nice.
Steve and Paul, I'm the one who knocks.
Yes.
That's what I am.
Yeah, I like the vibe, but you got to stop laughing when you deliver that line.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a little more impactful if you don't laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, or I need to laugh just way tougher.
Well, that's true.
Yeah,
Because if you follow it up with a laugh, people think you're crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Well, which I don't know. Maybe I am. Maybe I am at this point, but. I'm so excited to come back to Minnesota next week. I haven't been back in a while, and Acme was where I came up. That's where I started doing stand-up comedy. I went to the University of Minnesota because I didn't get in any other Big Ten schools.
Sure.
And
Wow.
that's the truth. No, but I'm glad that I went there because, let's say that I would have gone to, a different Big Ten school, I don't know what the culture is at Minnesota now. I think it's a little more fun, and our football team is way better than it used to be, and I think it's more of a party school now than it used to be. But I went there, and it was negative 70 with wind chill, and I actually studied and remember things. So
Wow.
It's great.
Weird. I heard about you. Yeah, you're the guy. Yeah.
I'm the one with the degree from there that remembers stuff. Yeah.
So first time ever grabbing that mic and getting up in a room full of people you've never met and trying to make them laugh? That very first time wasn't at Acme, was it?
It was at Acme, yeah.
Wow.
Cool.
Jumping in the
I
deep
went
end.
to college and I was writing stand-up comedy because my grandmother was a lounge singer and in Vegas and Los Angeles, and so they had to she would play the piano and then she'd have to tell jokes in between. So when I was a little kid, she's like, "What do you want to do?" And I was like, "Well, I want to be a comedian." And normally a parent or a grandparent would go, "Well, you're crazy. There's no money in that." Mm-hmm. And my grandma was like, "Oh, well, there's that's a profession," and I kind of did it. And I can teach you how to write a joke. And so I was writing jokes from the time I was 14. And then I went to the University of Minnesota. My college roommate was like, "You're funny." So he kept writing down the funny things that I said in almost like a journal. And then he gave it to me. And I was like, man, this guy's either the best friend I'll ever have or how I die. That's,
for sure.
Psycho that film. And then I just kept writing. And my junior year, we went down to Acme Comedy Club, and it was Nick Swartzen's last night of living in Minnesota.
Wow.
And he was going to go to, he was going to go to New York City the next day to start the big time. And I remember Dave Mordahl, nobody ever hosts the open mic, but Dave Mordahl actually got up and said a word before the thing, and he's like, "Hey guys, it's Nick's last night, and he didn't save any damn money to go to New York City, so we're gonna pass the hat and just get this dummy some money before he gets out there." And so I remember thinking I was like, oh, open mics are where people leave town that you love and you pass the hat for them. And then I was up second, and I remember I killed right away because my grandmother at one point when I was 14 years old, that day that I told her that I wanted to do stand-up comedy, she goes, all right, well, write me a joke. And then she taught me how to write a joke. Well, of course, I'm not good at it. So I'm just sitting outside trying to write a joke, and she wouldn't let me eat dinner until I wrote the joke. So it was child abuse. And so the joke I finally wrote was, do you guys ever drive with no pants on? I do. I love to drive with no pants on because I never know if people are staring at me because, like, they know, or if it's because I'm driving my moped. And
why? Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Still one of my favorite jokes to this day.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was I wrote that when I was 14 when I couldn't even drive a moped. And there was just a moped outside, and I thought that was kind of a funny joke.
Yeah.
And then, that was my opening joke, and it crushed. And I was on second at Acme, and then I like the whole set crushed. The funniest line was at like a minute 30. I go, okay, so I've done stand up now. Can I go? Because the part that I left out was that we went down for Nick Swartzen's last night, and my roommate signed me up to do stand up. And then, so I didn't know. So when the list came out, I had an hour to like gather my jokes that I'd been writing for hours. Nice. So,
that's a good roommate.
Like that. Yeah, it was a pretty good. Yeah, that's like a total guy thing to do. Like anyone else would have been terrified, but guys were like, we made Pete do this thing.
Sure. Pete Lee's with us on Gorman in the Morning. He doesn't always drink beer, but when he does, it's Dos Equis. I'm telling you, man, you're killing me here, Pete. This is fantastic. Pete Lee's at Acme. So I'm going to go back to Janesville for a minute, or Janesville adjacent. You're not far from Alpine Valley. What's the first concert you ever went to?
Oh man, this is gonna bum me out. Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Why would that be a bummer?
What not in 1990.
Right? He died that night after flying out.
That was your first concert. That was on this day in 1990. This is the anniversary of Stevie Ray Vaughan's death.
Yeah, that was. That was.
That was your first concert. Oh my goodness!
The legend just keeps building and building.
Please tell me that's also your last concert. I mean,
right.
God.
I just went to the Ozzy concert over. So actually, I do have a track record of this, but that's a true story. So my best friend is Justin Chancellor in the band Tool. Okay. And Justin's British. He kind of talks like Ozzy. He's like, "Hey man, you've been going through it lately." He's like, "Why don't you come over to Ozzy's thing?" And then I essentially got like backstage access. I got access like I was in the band.
Yeah.
And so like I have a video thing that I posted on Instagram where. So I was backstage for watching from the wings for most of the concert. Well, I would use the VIP porta potty thing. You know when you go to a fancy wedding and then they have that trailer that has the porta potty.
Sure. Oh yeah.
So I was in England, so I can just say I was on drugs and I was drunk. And not too drunk because I was on drugs, but so I went to the and I'll say that let's say that I was on an edible. Can we say that?
Yeah,
we can.
It's legal here, man.
Yeah, things were pretty trippy for me, and I go to the VIP porta potties, and all of the bodyguards were kind of like in a circle, and I was like, "Hey, is something happening? Can I not be here right now?" And they go, "Well, Ozzy's coming." And I go, "Well, I have to pee." Ooh. And the biggest bodyguard comes over and goes, "Dude, I'm a fan of your stand-up comedy." He's from the Midwest, and we take this picture, and he's like all geeked out. And I was like, man, that just made my day to be at this concert, with these celebrities backstage and to have a guy like Jason Momoa was there, and this guy geeked out over me. And so anyway, so I go in and he's like, "Can you make it quick?" And I was like, "Well, I'm 48 and so is my prostate, and no, I can't."
Yeah.
And so when I'm peeing and when you're 48 and you're trying to pee, you got to keep the porta potty pretty level, right? And so all of a sudden the porta potty just gets bumped, and it was by the Bentley that Ozzy's driver was driving, and the guy bumped the porta potty like Ozzy was driving, like that's how weird it was. So then I finish peeing and I go to the top of the steps. Well, the Bentley is blocking the steps, and there's a railing, and I'm looking down like there's no way out of this. Like the only way out of it would have been to open up the door of the Bentley and get in, and then crawl through where they were taking Ozzy out.
Right. Well, thank God you were on that edible. I mean, that's making this all that much more comfortable for you.
Yeah, and I thought this was hilarious, and I kind of like wave at the big bodyguard, and I'm like, should I go back in? Like, do I go back in, or what do I do here? And then he goes, no. He's like, just wait. He goes, I got to get Ozzy out of the back seat, and he lifts Ozzy back out of the back seat and into basically like the wheelchair that he was going to be in.
Yep.
And then he pulls Ozzy back like 2 feet, almost like he was doing me a favor. And then Ozzy's like, what's going on here? And he goes, there's one of the VIPs is stuck in the porta potty because the car bumped it. And he's like, oh, okay. And he goes, this guy like, imagine explaining to Ozzy that doesn't care. He's like, this guy's a comedian. He's like my favorite one. He's from America. And Ozzy's like, well, all right. Like, he doesn't care. And
sure.
And then this guy goes, lean over the railing. So like the side railing of the stairs. He's like, lean over. And I was like, what? I'm like, what's your plan? And he goes, Titanic, man. And I go, what? And so like I like really leaned over the rail. And then he picked, this guy's so huge. Like, he's like a man, like a real one.
Yeah.
And he, I don't know if you guys have ever met like a real one. And he grabs me by the shoulders, like how you would grab like a little tiny child. And he just picks me up so easily. And then he sets me down maybe 3 feet away from where Ozzy was. And like me meeting Ozzy goes, did he just pick you up like a child? and I'm laughing. I'm going, yeah, he did. But I go, but he just picked you up like a baby. And Ozzy laughed, and he's like, oh, I suppose he did. And then I didn't know what to say to him after that. I just wanted to get out of there because I was high. And I go, I love you so much, Ozzy. And then I walked away. And and then his concert was amazing. He was only supposed to do one song, and he wound up doing 5. And then he wasn't even supposed to play with Sabbath. It was supposed to be like James Hetfield and, Maynard and Steven Tyler and all those guys taking turns, singing with them. And then he came back out and did 8 songs. And we were all crying and arm in arm. And, it was just one of the best days of my life.
The upgrade from 1 song to 8, they call that the Pete Lee bump.
Yeah. That's what they call it now. Yeah.
Yeah. And there were not just because Ozzy's car, there were bumps going on in that porta potty.
Damn straight.
Man, oh man, I'll tell you what. For a guy, Pete Lee, who has crafted your entire comedy career about being super uncool, you're quite the opposite. My God.
Oh, dude, I guess this is the year that it happened, man. 48, feeling great.
Man, there's still time to get that moped, brother.
That's right.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Like this year, it's been wild. I went through a divorce. My house burned down in the Pacific Palisades, and then I got the clip. So I went on Jimmy Fallon the next day, and then I talked about my house burning down, and then it went viral.
Yep.
And 70 million people saw it. And it was wild because, like, if I'm being honest, like we're in entertainment. Like, for 70 million views, I would burn my own house down. Like I would.
Don't say that now.
Spraying a lighter, being like, drop a flame emoji in the comments, you guys.
Fantastic. Pete Lee's at Acme next Thursday, September the 4th, Friday and Saturday. 2 shows on the weekend, 1 on Thursday. We got to bounce real quick. Were you in LA for the fire, or were you out of town?
I was out of town. I was already in New York City when I found out my Tesla messaged me, "I'm on fire."
No.
Like, that's how
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah. So one of my friends is a Tesla engineer that lived in my neighborhood, and he taught me how to, because Teslas are fun. And they, he had me jerry-rig the app. And so it messaged me in first person. And it was like, "I'm on fire." And I was like, oh my God. But, yeah.
It would have been hipper if it had just played Springsteen's "I'm on Fire" song instead. You're like, what the hell's happening here? Hey, Pete.
Oh my God. Yeah, that sounds like it would be an option.
Pete, thanks so much for taking the time, man. We really appreciate it. 3 nights next week at Acme. Go see Pete Lee. Brother, you're welcome on this show anytime.
Dude, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You got it.
Thanks, man.
All right.
Gorman in the Morning is also Gorman on the go. Get the 92 KQRS app and stream live or catch the Gorman in the Morning podcast anytime. 92 KQRS.